Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today, April 23rd, 2024, Daily Scripture Snippets. Today, we're going to again continue John chapter 1, and today we're on John chapter 1, verse 5. In the one before, I remember in John chapter 1, verse 4, it was stated by John that Jesus was the light, and the light was the life of men. So, John is using here as a parallel, describing that Jesus is the light, the way that shines to God, the way he's pure light. He's in there. And again, we have many references through scripture talking about that. So again, we have to understand the context and remember where we're coming from as we go to these daily scriptures. So again, if you miss a day, I ask for you to go back into the videos and get on because you have to take everything in context. And I'll talk a little bit about that even in today's verse. So John chapter 1, verse 5 says, "And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it." So John here is talking about how Jesus is the light, came into the world and shined in our world because our world was full of darkness. Our world was fallen, is fallen because of sin, and a dark cloud just hangs over because of that sin. Our vision is skewed. We look towards ourselves rather than to the holy God, to the Creator God. Our vision is skewed because we look at our own selfish ambitions, our own selfish deceits, everything else we look into through those type of eyes, and we don't even really see. We don't even see the glory. We don't even see that. So Jesus comes to earth as the light. And it says, and this is from the New King James Version, and also the King James says similar, says, "And the light shines darkness, and darkness did not comprehend it." You say, so why are you telling me what version? So if you read from like the English Standard Version, for instance, they will translate that word comprehend to overcome. And it kind of does, a little bit drastically changes because, it changes it from in John chapter 1 verse 5 how the King James and New King James, which I prefer this translation, and I'll explain to you in a minute here, but it says it's more like they didn't understand it. The light came, he shone in the darkness. We didn't understand what was going on. We didn't understand what this light was. What in the world is this? We didn't fully understand and comprehend there, and that's what that translation was used there. But again, the English Standard Version, some of the newer translations will use the word overcome for that Greek word. That Greek word is katalabano, and it has multiple definitions. And you say, well, then how do you know what it's supposed to mean? Context. Remember just what I just said there, context. And I do believe the newer translations got it wrong. I mean, it's okay to do overcome because it's the same way the darkness did not overcome Jesus. Of course, we didn't overcome light. We can't because there he overcomes us. We don't overcome him. But I do believe that John was trying to get across the comprehension when he used the term katalabano here. So there's a couple of definitions for that, and I'll read them. I got them right here in my notes. It's actually broken down amongst most Greek scholars to be uh, three main themes. Konhalamano can mean to make something one's own, like you win it, you attain it, so you've overcome it that way. So in a winning sense, we've seen it in that context. It can also mean you seize it with hostile intent. So that's why I got down. You come upon, you overtake it, that overcome. You've overcome that. It's more hostile. Um, so it comes in from there, and that's kind of the overcome that the English Standard Version uses. And absolutely, Jesus Christ, quote unquote, came in like a wrecking ball. He's there. He's King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He comes in, even when he came to earth to humble himself to die upon the cross, he shook the world up, so that's not necessarily, but again, I'm saying context, not defendant. And then the next one is to learn about something through process of inquiry, to comprehend. Okay. That's the one that there. So you go, well, okay, Josiah, then why do you believe comprehend is the better translation there. So let's look. I'm not going to look straight through. I summarize because we'll get them in our daily scripture snippets. But if you read the rest of John chapter 1, you'll understand why Tyndale and some of the earlier translators used comprehend. It said John came as a witness to testify about the light so that all might believe in verse 6 and 7, which we're about to hit. So it says, talking about John the Baptist, John came as a witness to testify about the light. The light's capitalized there, to Jesus, so that all might believe. So again, there's a belief, comprehension there. Verse 9, the true light enlightens every man. So again, we get an enlightening, we get a knowledge. Verse 10, he, the true light, it's talking about there, Jesus was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. Again, very specific Greek word there used for know. So we're trying to get this, John's trying to get this sense across that we did not understand who was before us. And he's saying, if we only, if people only truly knew, you know, um, until it was too late. Of course, we did know there, and some people did know at the time, but he's talking about the world as a whole here. Verse 11 and 12, his own did not receive him, talking about Israel. His own did not receive him, but as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, even to those who believe in his name. Verse 11, 12, again, understanding, having there. Verse 14, and we saw his glory. Okay, again, we're comprehending, we're seeing who this is. Verse 17, grace and truth were realized through Jesus Christ. And then verse 18, no one has seen God at any time. The only begotten God who is in the bosom of the Father, he has explained him. So that's why I believe comprehended is right. So First John chapter 1, verse 5, again, for our daily scripture snippets, and the light shines in the darkness, and he still does. And the darkness did not comprehend it. And the thing is about this verse too, is even for those of us who believe in his name, who know and believe in faith that he is the Son of God, that we're born again, we're saved by his amazing grace. When you really think about the light, when you really think about Jesus, do we really comprehend all of him? The answer is no. That's how majestic and how awesome and how powerful he is. Think about that today. Think about how Jesus shines in your world, how he illuminates those dark spaces and those dark times of your life. I pray you have a great day. Talk to you later.